Hi, everyone. I want to give you an example of the videos that are going to be part of your final grade. So these are 3 to 5 minute videos about anything related to plants. And today I'm going to talk about my spider plants. So I want to show you my very cool looking spider plant in my very cool head planter. This is one of my spider plants. And this is another one of my spider plants, right? And I have them in my house. So this is what I found out about spider plants. So the first thing I did was that I Googled spider plants. So I went to Google, right? And I Googled spider plant. And this is what I get. I get multiple things about spider plants, including Wikipedia. So I find that through Wikipedia, this is the genus and the species, so the scientific name, Chlorophytum comosum. So I go to Google Scholar, which is a really important website, and it gives you the scientific papers. So I go to Google Scholar. So I go to Google, I type Scholar. This is my Google Scholar page. And I copy paste Chlorophytum comosum. And this is what I get. So these are the papers that have been published in the spider plants, in Chlorophytum comosum. So I find it very interesting. This paper has been cited 272 times. This next one has been cited 64 times. These they are about detoxification and phytoremediation. So apparently, according to just the titles of these two papers, spider plants can be used for bioremediation. But now I want to sort them through time. So I can go here in this site of my Google Scholar page and sort them through time. So I want to see the ones that have been published in 2020. So since 2020. And I find that the first hit is the complete chloroplast genomes of spider plants, Chlorophytum comosum. So I go to this paper, so I click on that paper. This is what I get. I download the PDF, and it's this paper that describes the chloroplast genome. And I'm very interested in the chloroplast genome because I assembled the chloroplast genome of cannabis, which was published in 2014. And it was my first paper on cannabis. So I go back to their paper on spider plants, and I see that they have the assembled genome of their chloroplast, which is 154,248 base pairs. So the chloroplast genome is 154,248 letters. So the genome of their chloroplast genome, let's remember that the chloroplast has a genome of its own, that it's circular, that's why this is a circle, and it's much smaller than the nuclear genome. So the genome of the chloroplast is 154,248 letters. And it turns out that I also have that same graphic for cannabis. And the chloroplast genome of cannabis is 153,871 base pairs. So this is the number of the letters in the DNA of the chloroplast genome in cannabis. So with my very good mathematical abilities, I find out that the chloroplast genome of Chlorophytum comosum of the spider plant is bigger than the genome of cannabis. It's 377 base pairs larger. And these are pictures that I've taken. This one is from my spider plant. So this one is from this guy over here. And this one is from a cannabis plant. So now I want to know more about the spider plant. So I go to NCBI, right? So I go to Google and I type NCBI, and this is what I get, right? When I type it, I press enter. This is what I get. National Center for Biotechnology Information is another very important website. It has very important information. So if I go to NCBI and here, this is what happens when I go from here and I click in here and I go to the main page on NCBI. And so I go here to all databases and I type Chlorophytum comosum. And this is what I get. So I want to go to taxonomy. I want to know what is it related to. So I go to taxonomy, and then this is what appears when I go to taxonomy, and I see it's a monocot, right? So it's a monocot. So this is the lineage, the full lineage. It gives you, so it's a cellular organism. It has cells. It's part of the plants, it tells me that it's from the order Asparagales and the family Asparagaceae. Okay, and it's a monocot, right? So with this tree that you have either seen in class already or will see, this is a tree from the angiosperms. The angiosperms, again, are the plants that produce flowers. And two of the most important divisions in the angiosperms are the monocots and the eudicots, right? So the monocots, here we have corn and sorghum and rice, right? And the eudicots, for example, here in the Rosales, we have cannabis. So we know that the spider plants is part of the monocots. So it's here. So it's more closely related to rice and to corn than it is to cannabis, okay? So now I want to remember more about monocots. So I Google monocot, and this is what I get. So monocots, so monocotyledons, referred to as monocots, are flowering plants, again, are angiosperms, and the seed typically contains one embryonic leaf or one cotyledon, right? That's why they are monocots, one cots from cotyledon. And this is the Wikipedia site. So I go to Wikipedia, and this is what I find out. So, for example, the orchids are part of the monocots, the true grasses like rice, wheat, maize, corn, all of those are part of the monocots. And then I go to the leaves, and it says here, a mature monocot leaves are generally narrow and linear, like my spider plant, generally narrow and linear. So now I go to the Wikipedia site of the spider plant, and I find that they are native to tropical and southern Africa. So when I go to tropical, this is tropical Africa, and then this is southern Africa. So the three things that I learned about spider plants, besides the scientific name, right, Chlorophytum comosum, is that they are native from Africa, they are monocots, and their chloroplast is approximately 400 base pairs larger than cannabis chloroplast. And this is an example of a video of anything related to plants. It's about a 3 to 5 minute video that you should have for your final project.